Hey, welcome to the Shooter's Resource Channel. Today I want to review the Taurus G3c. I'm going to tell you what, this is a great value coming in at an MSRP of $305. Now right now the gun market's kind of crazy and it might be hard to find this gun at that price, but you can still get it much cheaper than what you would get in most of your standard pistols. It's been a long time since I've held a Taurus in my hand, I'll be honest with you. One of my original guns that I first started out with was a Taurus. It was a Beretta 92 clone with a 4-inch barrel. But I'm going to tell you what, this G3 series of firearms that they have is packed with features. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the things that might attract you to this gun and why this gun is really selling very well out in the gun market. Now, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and take a second, hit that like and subscribe button and support the channel. Let's talk about some of the features of the Taurus G3c. So when compared to the G2c, which was also a very well-liked firearm that proved to be reliable from Taurus, they improved the coating on the firearm. They moved to a Tenifer finish because the G2c was having some problems with some of the coating wearing off. But one thing to note, that the G3c does utilize the same magazines as the G3 and the G2c. So that helps out quite a bit. If you don't like the sights that came on it, even though they are steel sights, you can replace them with any Glock sights. The magazine release is reversible. And one thing that a lot of people note is the improved trigger. The blade on the trigger for the trigger safety is much wider. And also just the overall weight of the trigger is really amazing, coming in under 5 pounds. The specs of the firearm include 12-round magazines. 3 of them come with the gun. You have the striker single action restrike capability. The barrel length is 3.2 inches. The overall length is 6.3 inches. The overall height is 5.1 inches. And the width is 1.2 inches, mainly due to the controls. The weight is 22 ounces. And it does have an accessory rail that allows you to run lights on this pistol, which would be really nice for a carry option. One of the things that immediately jumps out to me when I hold the Taurus is the ergonomics. They've done an amazing job making the gun really fit your hand. And it's just impressed me how all the different gun makers, the different brands have done a really great job at this. And they've really stepped their game up. But Taurus is no slouch in this department. One of the things that's awesome about the grip is the actual texture of the grip. If you look here, you can see that it's very, very coarse texturing. It's like a sandpaper style, and it feels just amazing in your hand. It's really comparable to an aftermarket sandpaper style grip. So no need to really make any upgrade there. Another thing that's really impressive is the magazine release. This thing shoots the magazines out like it's nobody's business. You can see, even holding the gun at 90 degrees, that the magazine shoots straight out of the gun. You don't need gravity to launch a mag out. And when you talk about magazines, another really impressive thing on the Taurus is the magazine capacity. We're talking 12+1 in such a small pistol. Manufacturers these days have been doing an excellent job with the triggers. They've really, especially in the striker fire community, they have really just stepped their game up. And this Taurus G3c is no exception there. So the trigger itself, it does have something that's rather innovative. You don't see this on a lot of striker fires. Actually, I haven't seen it on any, at least that I've owned. And I'm not sure if it's proprietary to them or if other guns have it. It's a single action with restrike capability. So what that means is once you fire, and let's just say that you got a light primer strike, which can happen. Now you have the ability to restrike the primer. And if the gun doesn't fire again, then you can go ahead and dislodge the round and chamber another round. However, that gives you the opportunity to refire, which could come in handy. It's happened to me before. If you shoot thousands of rounds, you'll eventually come across one where you might get a light primer strike. So this allows you to continue to try to shoot that same round. The other and probably bigger benefit is it allows you to practice dry firing without having to rack the slide in between each trigger pull, which is really nice. I mean, I dry fire a lot, so to have a gun where I can practice holding my sights on target and shooting is amazing without having to re-rack the slide. might be asking yourself, what's the catch? This is a $300 pistol, and all you've heard is good things about it. And up until this point, the performance has been flawless. But I would caution you against reliability. I haven't had any problems out of this gun, and most of the reviews I've seen have been pretty solid from the G3c. However, I have seen a couple reviews where people have had some problems. So make sure you run a pretty high round count through the gun before you consider carrying it. I'd recommend that for any gun that you have. The only other thing I would add is when comparing this gun to other guns I've shot of similar size and for similar purpose, I was able to shoot those other guns a little more accurate out of the box than this one. And I'm not really sure what the cause was. I also found that my finger would get pinched in between the trigger and the trigger guard, and it caused a cut after about 100 rounds that continued to get worse throughout the session. Another feature that is kind of controversial in the shooting world that the Taurus has is it does have a safety on it. And for some people, that's a must, and for others, it's a must not. And, you know, that's just really up to the shooter. For me, it really doesn't matter a whole lot. I have guns both with and without safeties, so I have no problem, you know, running either or. I have certain guns that have safeties on them that I elect to never use, and I guess there's a risk always that you might bump the safety on and not know about it. All in all, this is a great value. Taurus uses some language. Let me see what they call it. Some of their marketing terms, they say it cost to performance ratio is really great, and I would agree with them on that. The cost to performance ratio is excellent on this pistol. You've got the aggressive grips, and to me these grips are some of the best that I've actually felt on any pistol. It's very aggressive texturing, and I really appreciate that. It's got an amazing trigger, especially for the price point. It comes with a stainless steel barrel, steel sights, a manual safety, and a really impressive magazine release with 3 12-round magazines in such a small package. If you're in the market for a new carry gun, you might want to check out the Taurus G3c. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and take a second, hit the like and subscribe button to support the channel. Thank you guys and have a good day.